Hey everybody, this is Mike LePond from Symphony X and Mike LePond's Silent Assassins, and you're watching Rock and Metal News.
Hey guys, this is Ron from YouTube's Rock and Metal News, and these are our top 50 albums of 2020. And I'll mention a little bit about some of the albums, but we'll try to go through them pretty quick here. But number 50, we have Raven, Metal City. And number 49, we have Fate's Warning, Long Day, Good Night. Number 48, little controversy in this band, Lorna Shore, Immortal. It was still a really great album for 2020. Number 47 was Midnight Rebirth by Blasphemy. I love Midnight. Really cool sound, really raw. Number 46, In Heart's Wake, Caligulas, which was a really great album. And number 45 was Havok and V or 5. And number 44 was Intronaut, Fluid, Existential Inversions. Great album, lots of cool stuff on that. Number 43 was one of my surprises this year, was a band called DGM, and it was Tragic Separation. Check out that if you like some prog metal, pretty cool. Number 42 was Dark Tranquility, Moment. Number 41 was Protest the Hero, Palimpsest. Pretty cool album. Always like the way they write their stuff, man. They have some really cool stuff on Protest the Hero. Number 40. Wow, what an album this was. Magnus Karlsson's Free Fall, and it's called We Are the Night, and he's just an amazing guitarist. If you guys don't know about him, check it out. Lots of great vocalists on this, guesting. Tony Martin, ex-Black Sabbath, Ronnie, Romero, and Mike Andersson, to name a few, but really cool, great album. Number 39 was Mike LePond's Silent Assassins. The album was called Whore of Babylon, and this band includes bassist Mike LePond from Symphony X, a really great album. Number 38 was Paradise Lost, Obsidian. Number 37 was Dark Fortress, Spectres from the Old World. Number 36 was a local band. Very proud of this band from BC. Unleash the Archers, Abyss. So if you like stuff like Nightwish and Ithaca and Delane and stuff like that, check out Unleash the Archers. Really great album. These guys are really rising fast. Number 35 was U.D.O, We Are One, which includes U.D.O, Dirkschneider, the former vocalist for Accept. Number 34 was Judicator, Let There Be Nothing. Really great album. Number 33 was Arkhan Angel. The album was called Fallen. Check out the vocals on that album. Really great. Number 32, one of my surprises this year as well, was Black Fate. The album is called Ithaca. Just super cool, great vocals, very diverse, loved it. Number 31 was an old school classic, arguably the best rock band of all time, AC/DC, Power Up, the return of Brian Johnson, Phil Rudd on drums, and I love this album. It just took me back to some of their old school feel, and I love the way they produced the backup vocals. It just reminded me of old AC/DC. Number 30 was Pyramaze, and the album was Epitaph. Again, some great vocals in that. Number 29 was old school thrash band Heathen. They were back with Empire of the Blind. Really great album. Number 28 was Black Crown Initiate. The album was Violent Portraits of Doomed Escape. I love just their diversity. I love how they have really heavy stuff, some real clean stuff, very proggy in that. Just love that album. Number 27 was Alan Olzon. The album was called Worlds Apart. How can you go wrong with this? Annette Olzon, ex-vocalist of Nightwish, and Russell Allen, the vocalist of Symphony X. And Magnus Karlsson plays guitar on this. And wow, what a great album. Some great melodies, some great vocals. So if you're a vocalist, check out that album. Number 26 was Amaranth, and the album was Manifest. I love these guys. I just love how they use so much diversity in their albums and lots of keys and just very, very big sounding. Loved it. Number 25 was Code Orange Underneath. Again, these guys still climbing up the ladder, and they put out some really cool stuff. They just never have a formula. They always are very unique, and I like that about them. That's what I really love about Code Orange. Number 24 was Deftone Ohms. Deftones always put out great, solid albums. Lots of feel in those, and another good one. Number 23 was the comeback of Mr. Bungle, but coming back with some cool guests. They did The Raging Wrath of the Easter Bunny, which was a remake of their demo. Includes Mike Patton from Faith No More and Trace Bront. It has Scott Ian, guitarist from Anthrax, Dave Lombardo on drums from former Slayer, now with Suicidal Tendencies, and Trevor Dunn on bass. So very cool album. They did such a great job on that. Number 22, a little bit of a surprise this year for me, but a great album, Green Carnation, Leaves of Yesteryear. Wow, what a great album. Just super cool, great vocals, great song structures, and really cool melodies in that. Really loved it. Number 21 actually was another surprise for me because not super into this band, but this album was just so good. And it was Avatar Hunter-Gatherer. I keep playing it. The songs were just catching me, and I just kept listening to it over, and I thought some of these songs, man, they just were so catchy in that. So I actually really loved their new album. Number 20 was the Doom Sabbathy Masters Sorcerer, Lamenting of the Innocent. Love the heavy Sabbath feel of these guys. And number 19 was Catatonia, City Burial. God, this guy's voice is just so unique. I love it. And they are so moody in their music. I just love Catatonia, and they put out a great album. Number 18 was Enslaved, Utgard, and it was awesome, and I love their new proggy style and feel, but it was a great album. And number 17 was the solid Nightwish, Human to Nature. Great vocals, great song structures, and just arrangements in that whole band. They're amazing. If you ever get a chance to see Nightwish live, see them. They are great. Number 16, probably my biggest surprise this year, was a band that I should have known, and I can't believe I didn't. And I just kind of really got into them this year because I read something on them. A band called Mekong Delta. And the album is called Tales of a Future Past. I recommend everybody checking out Mekong Delta, Mekong Delta, and take a listen and let me know what you think of that one. Number 15 was Lamb of God, self-titled album Lamb of God, and man, they just put out super heavy blues-oriented rock, and just, I mean, you can just hear the super heavy riffs and just how they're really, you can tell they have a lot of old school blues in their guitar playing, but they just beef it up so much and it sounds so great. And just, again, a solid album. Number 14 was Armored Saint, Punching the Sky. Love to see the old school bands coming back like Armored Saint and putting out great stuff. Super great album. I saw Armored Saint open up for Metallica in, I think, 1986, and they're still flying. And Bush sounds just as great. He's just an amazing vocalist. Great album. Number 13, love this album. It's called Caligulas Horse. The album is called Rise Radiant. And it just, I don't know what it is. Just the way just a great album with the song structures and the vocals. And I love, check out that band, Caligulas Horse. Really good. Number 12 was Hawken. And the album was called Virus, and they had this album name picked out way before we had the COVID-19 virus. So this is not them writing about it, but they had this already down, and man, was it ever fitting for the times. Number 11, really great album called the band is Ross the Boss. The album is Born of Fire. The band includes Ross Friedman on guitars of Man O' War, and what a great album it is. Now we're hitting the top 10. The top 10. Number 10 was Napalm Death. They never fail. They always put out great albums. The album is Throes of Joy in the Jaws of Defeatism. Check it out. Number 9, another kind of super group. There's lots of bands that have a lot of collaborations this year that were so great. Killer Be Killed. The album Reluctant Hero. It has Greg Puciato from the Dillinger Escape Plan, former Dillinger Escape Plan. They're kind of gone now. Max Cavalera of, Cavalera Conspiracy and all his bands that he has, formerly in Sepultura, of course. Troy Sanders from Mastodon, and Ben Collar, and what a great album they put out, so check it out. And number 8 was Demons and Wizards. The album was Demons and Wizards 3, and this band includes Blind Guardian vocalist Hansi Kirsch and John Schaefer, the guitarist of Iced Earth. Wow, what a great album, and just super moody, super well produced. Check it out. And number 7 was Ozzy Osbourne, Ordinary Man. The reason why I have this one so high, it doesn't have Zakk Wylde on it. It doesn't have killer blazing guitar on it, but man, what they did for Ozzy to write this stuff and to have his vocals produce how he did, and how he just made this such a great album with some really cool tunes on it. Chad Smith on drums, Red Hot Chili Peppers, Duff McKagan on bass from Guns N' Roses, Andrew Watt on guitar, he's a huge producer, and Post Malone, Elton John, and Travis Scott all guest on the album. I thought it was a really great album to pull that out of Ozzy, and that's why it's so high. Number 6 was Trivium, What the Dead Men Say. Man, Trivium are just on the rise. One of the best drummers in the business right now, I think. He's just amazing, and they've really found their niche, Trivium, and they're putting out great albums. The last 2 are just amazing. And number 5 was another band with a bunch of great players in it, Sons of Apollo. The band was MMXX. It features Mike Portnoy, formerly of Dream Theater, on drums, Derek Sherinian, Billy Sheehan on bass, Jeff Scott Soto, what amazing vocalist on vocals, Ron Bumblefoot Thal, he played in Guns N' Roses for a while. How can you go wrong with all those guys? And they put out a great album. Number 4 was a band called The Ocean, or The Ocean Collective. And wow, what a cool album they put out. It's just so amazing. The album's called Phanerozoic 2, Mesozoic, Cenozoic. And just a super, super great album. Check it out for sure. And just loved it. Number 3 was the almighty Sepultura, Quadra. They're just crushing it every year now with new albums, and they have just found this kind of progginess to them that is making their songs a lot more interesting and enjoyable to listen to. And I really love the last 2 Sepultura albums, and I think they're really progressing now. It took them a bit when Green joined, but I think they're flying now. I think they're just amazing. Number 2 was Body Count Carnivore. Man, this album is just super great and super heavy and just super mean, and love it. And the grooves and just the lyrics and what they write about and the attitude they have in this album is just so great. And our number 1 choice of album for 2020 was Testament. The Thrash Kings are back. They're still hitting it hard. They have 2 of the best guitarists in the whole business, Eric Peterson, Alex Skolnick. They have Gene Hoglan on drums, one of the best. I mean, strapping young lad, and Tons and Death Clock, the whole bit. They got Chuck Billy on vocals. This album, man, is, you can listen to the first 4 songs and it feels already like you've been through a full album. So, I mean, if you haven't checked out Testament, give it another big listen, because they have so much stuff going on in here, and there's so much great riffing and guitar playing and just cool stuff going on. So we give the crown to Testament, Titans of Creation for 2020. Let us know what you guys think, some of your favorite stuff. I mean, there's tons of albums out there all year, and these are the ones that we kind of pulled out of the hat, that we just love to listen to and just felt there's some special about them. So that's our choice for 2020. Let's hope that 2021 is pandemic free And we have another great year. We have some great albums coming up in 2021 as well. This is Ron from YouTube's Rock and Metal News. Thanks for tuning in.